Shri GURUBHYO NAMAHA. Welcome you all, wonderful friends. Great that we are here today, every day, to study together these glorious Shastras, Upanishads, Gita with Bhashyam, Yoga Vasishtam, Tulsi Ramayanam, Adi Shankara's Granthas, Mandukya Upanishad, and so many. Wonderful. May these days continue like this. Let us pray like that and let us become more conscious about these opportunities we are getting. Let us be more conscious and effortful about making better use of these opportunities. Let the thought be there for this deeply, intensely, and definitely we do better to achieve better. Shwethashwathara Upanishad, 4th chapter Adhyanam. We are seeing yesterday, everything is that Paramatma alone. And in the next three very important mantras, in one, the Baddha and Mukta, the difference will be told. In the next one, the Jiva Ishwara, the difference or their presence will be told. In the third mantra, how we as a Jiva get bound is indicated, in which alone, therefore, how we get liberated, that also very clearly hinted at. So thus, these mantras become very crucial. One mantra is from Chandogya, other two are also found bodily divine to express and bless us in the study understanding of this Upanishad. Before that, we do our Mangalacharana Shloka and Prarthanas and Sankalpa. We'll also spend some time in analyzing some common sense thought. And before all of that, to divinize ourselves, to tune ourselves, let us do the Parayanam of the Rig Veda as we are doing every day for those 5 to 6 minutes. Let us take everything what we do in this 1 hour 10 minutes as very sacred, auspicious, divine duty for our own invocation of the divine, for our own exclusive spiritual evolution. All through the day, if we are able to do many sadhanas, nothing like that. Keep doing them. But this class also can be deeply taken as sadhana, the Shravana sadhana going on. While doing Shravana only, Manana Chintana also one can do and even get lots of clarities, convictions if one tries consciously. Some highly qualified Uttamadhikari at the Shravana Kala only, along with Manana Chintana happening, even Nididhyasana also can happen, in which he will directly experience that what is said about the truth in the Upanishads is me only. Let us that way become more qualified by our own efforts to make maximum use of these opportunities given and these opportunities taken. Om Atha Veda Parayanam. I hope you all are opening it every day. I sent you the link. Rigveda 7th Mandala 31st Anuvaka onwards. Om Atha Veda Parayanam Rigvedaha Saptama Mandalam Ekatrimshatitama Anuvakadarabhya Om Prava Indraya Madanam Haryashvaya Gayata Sakaya Somapavne Shamse Duktam Sudanava Utadyuksham Yatha Naraha Chakruma Satyaradhase Tvam na Indravajayustam Gavyuh Shatakrato Tvam Hiranyayurvaso Vayamindrattvaya Vopi Prano Numo Vrushan Viddhi Tvasya no Vaso Mano Nide Chavakta Veryorandhira Ravne Tve Apikratur Mama त्वं वर्मासि सप्रतः पुरो योधश्च वृत्रहन् त्वया प्रतिब्रुवे युजा महा उदासि यस्य तेनुस्वधावरी सह मम्नाथे इन्द्ररोधसी तन्त्वा मरुत्वती परिभुवद्वाणी सयावरी न क्षमाणा सहद्युभिः ऊर्ध्वासस्त्वान्विन्दवो भुवन्दस्ममुपद्यवी सन्ते नमन्तकृष्टयः प्रभो महेमहिवृधे भरद्वं प्रचेतसे प्रसुमतिं कृणुध्वं विशः पूर्वीः प्रचराचर्षणिप्राः उरुव्यचसे महिने सुवृक्तिमिन्द्राय ब्रह्म जनयन्त विप्राः तस्य व्रतानि न मिनन्ति धीराः इन्द्रं वाणीरनुत्तमन्युमेव सत्रा राजानन्ददिरे सहध्यै हर्यश्वाय बर्हया समापीन 32 मोषुत्वा वागतश्च नारे अस्मन्निरीरमन् आरात्ताचित्सदमादं न आगहीह वासन्नुपश्रुधे इमे हि ते ब्रह्मकृतः सुते स चामधौ स स्मधौ नमक्षासते इन्द्रे कामं जरितारो वसूयवो रथेन पादमादतुः रायस्कामो वज्रहस्तं सुदक्षिणं पुत्रो न पितरं हुवे इम इन्द्राय सुन्विरे सोमासो दध्याशिरः ता आमदाय वज्रहस्तपीतये हरिभ्यां याह्योक आ श्रवच्छ्रुत्कर्ण ईयते वसूनां नो चिन्नो मर्धि षद्गिरः सद्यश्चिद्यः सहस्राणि शता ददन्न कीर्तित् सन्तमामि सत् स वीरो अप्रतिष्कुत इन्द्रेण शूशुवेन्नृभिः यस्ते गभीरा सवनानि वृत्रहन् सुनोत्या च धावते भवावरोतं मघवन्मघो नाम यत्समजासि शर्धतः वित्वाहतस्य वेदनं भजे मह्यादूणाशोभरागयं सुनोता सोमपाव्ने सोममिन्द्राय वज्रिणे पचता पक्तिरवसे कृणुध्वमित्पृणन्नित्पृणते मयः मास्रेदत सोमिनो दक्षता महे कृणुध्वङ्ग्राय आतुजे तरणिरिज्जयति क्षेति पुष्यति न देवासः कवत्नवे नकिः सुदासोरतं पर्यासनरीरमथ इन्द्रो यस्याविता यस्य मरुतो गमत्स गोमतिव्रजे गमद्वाजं वाजयन्निन्द्रं मर्त्यो यस्य त्वमविता भुवः अस्माकं बोध्यविदारथानामस्माकं शूरनृणाम् उदिन्वस्य रिच्यन्ते विशो रिच्यतें शोधनन्न जिग्युषः य इन्द्रो हरिवान्न दबन्ति तं रिपोदक्षं ददाति सोमिने मन्त्रमखर्वं सुदितं सुवेशसं ददात यज्ञियेष्वा पूर्वेश्च न प्रसितयस्तरन्ति तं य इन्द्रे कर्मणा भुवत् कस्तमिन्द्रत्वा वसुमा मर्त्यो दधर्षते श्रद्धा इत्येमगवन् पार्ये दिवि वाचैवाजंसि शासति मगो नः स्म वृत्रहत्येषु चोदयये तदधि प्रियावसो तव प्रणीति हर्यश्व सूरिभिर्विश्वातरे मधुरिता तवेदिन्द्रावमं वसुत्वं पुष्यसि मध्यमम् सत्रा विश्वस्य परमस्य राजसि नखिष्ट्वा गोषु गृण्वते त्वं विश्वस्य धनदा असि श्रुतो य ईं भवन्त्याजयः तवायं विश्वः पुरुहूत पार्थिवो वस्युर्नाम भिक्षते यदिन्द्रयावतस्त्वमेतावदहमीषिया दिधेय तदावसो न पापत्वाय रासीय शिक्षेयमिन्महयते दिवे दिवे राय आकुह चिद्विदे न हि त्वदन्यन्मघवन्न आप्यं वस्यो अस्ति पिता च न तरणिरित्सिषा सति वाजं पुरन्ध्यायुजा आव इन्द्रं पुरुहोतन्न मे गिरा नेमिन्दश्चेव सुध्वम् न दुष्टुते मर्त्यो विन्दते वसुनः स्वेदन्तं रैर्न शतो सुशक्तिरिन्मघवन्तुभ्यं मावते देष्णं यत्पार्ये दिवे अवित्वा शूरनो नुमो दुग्धा इव धेनवः ईशानमस्य जगतः स्वर्दृशमीशानमिन्द्रतस्तुषः नत्वावागन् अन्यो दिव्यो न पार्थिवो न जातो न जनिष्यते अश्वायन्तो मघवन्निन्द्रवाजिनो गव्यन्तस्त्वाहवामहे अभीशतस्तदा वरेन्द्रज्यायः कनीयसः पुरूवसुर्हि भगवन् सनादशिवरे भरे च हव्यः पराणुदस्व मघवन्नमित्रान् सुवेदा नो वसुकृधि अस्माकं बोध्यविदामहादने भवावृदः सखीनाम् इन्द्रक्रतुं नाभर विदा पुत्रेभ्यो यथा शिक्षाणो अस्मिन् पुरुहूतयामनि जीवा ज्योतिरसीमहि मानो अज्ञाता वृजना दुराध्यो मा शिवासो अवक्रमुः त्वया वयं प्रवतः शश्वतीरपोथिशूरतरामसि ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः. Yes, friends, today's common sense thoughts are maybe one or two. We'll see them. First one is simple one. Let us realize that whether they are outer usable objects or our own most sophisticated God given upadhis, when they are not used, when they are misused, we are incurring lot of sin, or we are really proving our ignorance, our own immaturity. When the things are not used, the technical word used for them is the unused atrophy. Means when they are not used for a long time, then they become useless. They lose all their capacities. Isn't it? Even the outer things in the world also, when you have a car for 2 months, 3 months, unused, when you put it there, all the parts get stagnant there. Unless you again service it and all, it won't be on the road. Even though any of the electrical machines, whatever they are, unused, then they become useless. For a long time, if you don't use your cell phone, वो बैटरी भी खराब हो जाएगा, अंदर के चीजें भी खराब हो जाते हैं. So most of the things in the world, when not used, they get spoiled. Even your own chair, sofa and all, अब लाके रखा यूज ही नहीं कर रहे हो, तो देखते देखते because of changes in the atmosphere, in the furniture, in all those things, some or the other problem happens, it can't be used. इवन एक कमरा ऑल्सो वहीं से छोड़ दिया, यूज ही नहीं कर रहे हो, तो धूल मिट्टी सारे जाले जम जाते हैं. इवन इट बिकम्स ए प्लेस फॉर द रैट्स एंड ऑल लिजर्ड्स टू स्टे. तो एनीथिंग इन द वर्ल्ड, एक जमीन भी अब यूज नहीं किया है, either make a house there or make something crops or something, नहीं तो फिर it becomes filled with all the weeds और कांटे के पौधे वहां आ जाते हैं. Isn't it? So anything unused that way in the world becomes wasted. And if you do the misuse also, then it is a sign of our arrogance or ignorance or our disrespect towards them. There are both the chances for unusing or misusing. We have to be careful to do the third thing called as using and rightly using, maximum utilizing. That alertness, that awareness we have to always develop. Unuse also is wrong, misuse also is wrong, abuse also is wrong. Using correctly and using completely. You know, that intelligence comes with practice. Slowly, slowly, when we start thinking, understanding, then we will be able to know it and do it. And as a habit, both the three things go away: unuse, misuse, abuse. As a habit, right utilization will happen of any of the outer things if you are aware. As a human being, these are our purusharthas, isn't it? Now, in the same way, within our own personality also, if the sharira is not used for stagnant, and the muscles get stagnant, the nerves also, even the bones, the whole body. Yeah, imagine 10 दिन कहीं हिल ही नहीं रहे हैं, बैठे हो, रियली हिले ही नहीं हिंदी में, तो इन इंग्लिश वी बिकम लाइक हिल ओनली, कि एक जगह पहाड़ की तरह बन जाते. Most of the physical diseases come because of unusing of the sthula sharira. And think about it, when the sharira used for all the works that are to be done, of course, keeping in mind the age and limitations. Then the body जब function में होता है like any machine, तो it is good, it is healthy, it is rightly utilized. So let the body be not in that unused atrophy state. Let it be utilized. लगे रहो बस. And we all have heard 1,000 times the non-moving body and then unnecessarily moving mind. Both are liabilities. The body should keep on moving, mind should be stabilized. So the first upadhi is sharira. Unused करोगे तो फिर वो उसके सारे muscles etc. they become weakened. Nowadays, if you see the people, the hands and legs are very weak, and the stomach is like bigger than Ganapati. Why is it happening? Because so much of food is eaten, but that's not going to become the muscles or all this physical body, because वो digest होकर जा ही नहीं रहा. Why is not working? All these people you see, in the IT वगैरह में काम करने वाले, they so much पेटू हो गए आजकल. Every one of them you can see. And all those fellows who run from here and there, the medical representatives or other वो लोग फिर स्लिम ट्रिम रहते, बिकॉज दिन भर चलना होता है. उनमें से भी कुछ लोग go on two-wheeler or car, park, 2 minute stand, then also पेटू. From the pet all diseases come, we know it. So in that way, keep using the body. नहीं तो the body first will have the diseases and tamoguna, then it will permeate into the other subtle aspects of our personality. Then we become useless, isn't it? So unused atrophy. In the same way, the sense organs, they are not unused, but they are abused, misused, isn't it? We use our tongue, but misuse by overeating, wrong eating, taste. So to the ears, used, but what for? Eyes, most terribly misused are eyes. जो देखना है नहीं देखते हैं, जो नहीं देखना है देखते ही जाते हैं. So in case of the indriyas, there is overuse, it is there is a wrong use is there, misuse, sometimes even abusing. So we have to become conscious, recognize ourselves for ourselves that these are the mistakes that are happening knowingly or unknowingly, mostly unknowingly. Let us know it now. Let us be on the job of rectifying ourselves. Then the third one is the mind itself, the unused mind or the misused mind. That also gets either rotten because of unused, misuse करने के कारण it gets diseased also. Mind is very sophisticated, beautiful equipment. Keep using, have the emotions, but positive. Have the imaginations, again positive. Isn't it? Let the mind be filled with all those, even the positive values. It is the right use. When the mind can love, love. When the mind can forgive, learn the art of forgiving. When the mind can have sympathy, compassions, that are good and healthy, na? Let us do them. This is because the mind can have anger. We should not have. It is abuse, misuse of the mind. Just because mind can have jealousy, we should not, because that is detrimental. Because the mind can have the feelings of angers or frustrations. अरे यार थोड़ा ध्यान दो अपने मन के ऊपर. हाँ, ऐसे कैसे छोड़ दिया उसको कि कुछ भी हो जाए इसमें. So unused mind also, use it, be conscious, have those positive emotions. Start with the plants, start with the animals, extend it to birds, and extend it to human beings. Keep on the mind is used this way positively. Not using is also wrong, right? Also wrongly using, not allowed. Correct usage, we have to observe it. We have to be conscious about this equipment, its abilities, its beauties, and then what for it can be used the best way. ये सब दिमाग तो होना चाहिए. कल परसों भी हम यही बात कर रहे थे. Then the most sophisticated intellect is the instrument is the intellect. उसका भी हम निरंतर विवेक विचारणा नामक उपयोग करते ही रहना है. Isn't it? Either gaining in the information, knowledge, intellect works, or in discriminating in deciding. Isn't it? That intellect also has to be trained to be used. And every moment, viveka, just to feel like having coffee. You can have viveka there for a minute, whether it is required or not, how much hot, how much quantity. अब काफी मन में आ गया बस पी लिया. वेयर इज इंटेलेक्ट? दिमाग है तो यूज करो ना. इज इट रिक्वायर्ड एट दिस टाइम? इन व्हाट वे इट्स रिक्वायर्ड? isn't it? A breakfast. विवेक करो वहां. Just like your husband made it and anything you eat. थोड़ा विवेक करो. You tell him in advance, no? आज ये वाला बनाओ. Have to do the sadhana, therefore we'll have only the sprouts today. ऐसा विवेक करो. Anything cannot be had. हर जगह विवेक को यूज कर सकते है ना. अर्ली मॉर्निंग उठते ही विवेक कि these next 12-14 hours where I am going to be awake, in what way these hours have to be used. विवेक, isn't it? 9 बज गया, अभी 9 बज गया तो शाम तक till 9 in the night, 12 hours. विवेक करके, प्लान करके, even if 20% we do, that's a very good beginning, very good achievement it is. What is an aviveka? Nothing is planned. जो समय होता है वो करते हैं. और जो उस समय में क्या होता है वो दो ही तीन ही चीजें होते हैं. इधर ये वो खाओ और टीवी वगैरह देखो या निद्रा सो जाओ. When we have not planned, these are the things attack. Isn't it? When we plan and when we are committed to that planning, then we can keep doing something. This is the job of the intellect. Isn't it? So, by using the intellect, by discrimination, etc., we can command our day, our activities, our achievements. All of that can be done. So, let us be aware of this beautiful thing that these faculties are given for great purposes. Let us use them. So, an idea is given, the further discussion you can do. Okay, thinking you can do for yourself. Now, the second thought for the day is very sacred, very big one. I will not explain it very exhaustively. Only the subheadings we will say, remaining you can think, understand. Dekho, first point is what? The whole universe will have to evolve spiritually toward the spirit. That is the goal, that is the plan, that is the aim. The whole cosmos, universe, wherever, whichever the part of the cosmos the beings are there, because the redemption is there only in the Adhyatmika Pragati. That huge and big should be our ultimate vision. Whoever are able to that way contribute for the cosmic, universal, spiritual evolution, they are called as the rishis of the highest order. Imagine their tapashakti, their tapana, and their taking various avatars and continuously working towards it relentlessly. वशिष्ठ व्यास आदि कितने युग युग से वो लोग काम कर ही जा रहे. Even though they are working, isn't it? Every you and I can reach to that level of serving the universe at the highest spiritual evolutional level. I just leave it there. Think about it. Second is what? We can all work for, we all can work for the universal, at least, peace and comfort, happiness. We can add the word. How can anybody in the universe suffer? Whether it is as big as a planet or as small as in a bird or animal, isn't it? So there are the great karma yogins, there are great, some technical words are there, the lovers of the beings who work in this angle also. They are Varuna, the Agni, the Vayu, the Indra. What are they doing? In a big way, they are working for giving what's required for the universal beings for their happiness. See the big work of Varuna Deva, taking the waters and giving rains, and because of that, the entire Jiva Koti is alive or not. He alive, not only alive, they get what food they want and they are happy. The Agni Bhagwan, the Vayu Bhagwan. So those who look for the comforts and happiness of all beings and work at level, they are these phenomenal gods. You and I can also visualize and evolve to that level, which we have seen a little bit in our Taittiriya Upanishad, isn't it? Bhuriti va agnihi bhuvariti vayoho suvarityaditye mahaiti brahmani. When we do the upasana of Bhurvasva, we become Agni, Vayu and Indra. On Maha we do the upasana, we become Sakshat Brahmadeva. And they are all working for the universal peace and happiness of all beings. You know, all the bad odors we, the jivas, create, the wind god removes all of them, isn't it? All the food we consume, again the rain god gives them back to us. And all the dirt and useless things we create, the Agni Devata burns them. They're all working continuously. We may sleep, but they don't sleep. So there are cosmic beings who are working in this angle. You and I also, like the first one, can evolve to that level. And then these things, how can and when can they happen? First of all, basically, we ourselves, when we are both way, in our own upadhisthai jivana, when we ourselves are safe, secured, happy, healthy, comfortable. When I myself am miserable at the bhautika level, how can I add or contribute to the happiness of others? Isn't it? Secondly, when I myself am bankrupt as regards my spiritual knowledge is concerned, spiritual practices are concerned, and spiritual experiences, how can I contribute to the whole cosmic, universal spiritual growth? Isn't it? Then, in whose hands are these two there? That one's own comfort, happiness, safety, security at the bhautika level, and one's own adhyatmika anubhuti, adhyatmika level. In whose hands they are all? They are. Here is where the main point. This is what our Purushartha Samarthya and our Swatantrata that is given to you and I as human beings. We are given them. And the whole problem is what? Two things. One, we are not recognizing that we are given this Purushartha Samarthya for both our personal outer comforts and growths and happinesses, and also spiritual evolutions to begin with, and later on with the same Purushartha Samarthya we can even contribute to the whole cosmos in both ways. This we are not recognizing. That's the biggest problem. Okay. Then the bigger than the biggest second problem is what? Very conscious. Dhyan se sunna, that we have at our intellectual level become so sleepy, lethargic, that we are living the life casually, taking it for granted. Matlab, in the technical word, if you want me to say, in the Punjabi language, as they know, की फर्क पड़ता, ऐसा कुछ कहते हैं लोग. क्या फर्क पड़ता है? The attitude of क्या फर्क पड़ता है, how does it matter? What does the change it bring? What is the need of it? चलता है, दोनों बातें, क्या फर्क पड़ता है, जो है चलता है। ये दोनों worst of the attitudes a human being, individual or the community can have, with which the entire development, progress, growth can be fully stopped and made stagnant. The disease, the worst disease which a human being can have at his intellectual personality level is these two things. क्या फर्क पड़ता है, जो है सो रहने दो. Now imagine all the scientists, etc. If they were in this attitude, this all growth what we are seeing, was it possible? Would it be possible? So, to the great rishis and munis, if they were in this attitude of क्या फर्क पड़ता है, जो है सो रहने दो, है ना? तो क्या इतने सारे शास्त्र ज्ञान, तत्व ज्ञान, मोक्ष क्या सब इन्वोक हो जाते थे, इवॉल्व हो जाते थे, डिस्कवरी होती थी क्या? We all have this disease, especially with our own selves. How does it matter? Let it be as it is. So therefore, the body, how does it matter? जैसा है वैसा रहने दो, क्या फर्क पड़ता है? सच्चे लेजी स्लम में रहने वाले लोगों का थर्ड क्लास आइडिया है सब. वो लोग हमेशा उसी में रह जाते. द घर जैसा पड़ा है वैसे रहने दो, क्या फर्क पड़ता है? सच्चे लेजी फेलोस, lethargic fellows. The relations, जैसा है रहने दो, क्या फर्क पड़ता है? The financial position, oh, how does it matter? Let it be as it is. अरे गधे, you are a human being, you can't say that. बहुत फर्क पड़ता है. You will fall down from the human to the animal level because the animal says that क्या फर्क पड़ता है? In that cow shed or buffalo shed, lot of dung is there. That is put by them only. All the grass here उधर फेंका रहता है. You never see any buffalo thinking that चलो let me clean it and let me make it beautiful. क्या फर्क पड़ता है? एटीट्यूड में होता है वो. रहने दो जैसा है. That's what animal. We are supposed to accept that we have evolved from that animal level to the human level, no? इन द जंगल वेदर खाई है वहां और कोई दलदल है वहां और कोई एनी ऑफ द कांटों का रास्ता है उधर, ऑल एनिमल्स दे गो, क्या फर्क पड़ता है एटीट्यूड, चलने दो ऐसा ही रहेगा. दे डोंट डू एनी एफर्ट टू चेंज इट. We the human beings also stoop to that level of animals, if we also intellectually in this way so arrogantly lethargic and lazy, saying these words, how does it matter? Let it be like that. From this status we have to wake up our inner sleeping lion, है ना? तो सोया हुआ जो सारी एबिलिटी कैपेसिटीज वी हैव, बट नन ऑफ देम आर एक्सप्रेसिंग. क्या फर्क पड़ता है? आई डोंट नो गीता चैंटिंग, आई डोंट नो उपनिषद चैंटिंग, क्या फर्क पड़ता है? आई एम नॉट रेगुलर सीरियस सिंसियर इन माई डे शेड्यूल, क्या फर्क पड़ता है? आई एम नॉट डूइंग जप पूजा, की फर्क पैंदा? आई डोंट इवन वर्शिप माई गुरु, रिमेंबर हिम, क्या फर्क पड़ता है? आई डोंट गो टू द टेम्पल. अरे बफेलो, कुछ फर्क? Even after listening all this also, the same attitude. स्वामी जी जो भी कहे क्या फर्क पड़ता है, चलने दो. This is the biggest disease because of which we are killing ourselves. We are living the death. LIVING. हम मृत्यु को जी रहे हैं. अरे यार बहुत फर्क पड़ता है और मेहनत करके बहुत फर्क लाना पड़ता है हमको. We have to bring the changes positive in our lives personally, first of all. How can we allow, how long we can allow all this ignorance to be with us, all this upadhi tadatmya with us, spiritually talking? How can we allow continuously this delusion to live only as the upadhi yukta jiva? क्या फर्क पड़ता है? अरे यू आर भटक रहे हो संसार में, फिर कहते हो क्या फर्क पड़ता है? People sit on our head whether it is a wife or children, क्या फर्क पड़ता है? अरे एनिमल्स आर बेटर. अपने पुरुषत्व को प्रूव करो, थोड़ा कमेंट करो उनको. डेयर नॉट दे शुड सिट ऑन आवर हेड हुएवर दे आर. हाउ कैन वी लूज आवर फ्रीडम? शर्म नहीं आता? आदमी हो पैजामा हो, In this way, we have to think to ourselves, isn't it? Everywhere we are in this attitude. क्या फर्क पड़ता है चलने दो जो है ऐसा नहीं होता इन सच पर्सन with all the abilities blessings opportunities he will not do anything and his life is waste for himself first of all then to the whole world it's a burden on भूमि के लिए भार है ऐसे लोग एवरीथिंग क्या फर्क पड़ता है ऐसे कैसे भाई we have to work on the things we have the purushartha ability we have the mana buddhi shariradi things to wake up them each one of them and have to involve in the life so aggressively कुछ किए बिना जितना भी उम्र जिए what is the use of that by doing something like this aggressively even if we die very quickly with less that's better है ना long life unproductive is a liability to the world than a short lived life where we have aggressively brought that farak or change in ourselves and the world be in that attitude isn't it मुझे कुछ होगा with this type of अहम क्या फर्क पड़ता है आइडिया जो है चलने दो इस तरह एक्सेप्टेंस से the great paramatma who is in us wanting to express we are stopping him we are not allowing for our own development basically apna pehle thereafter only the other two things which you talked about that the whole universal sukha and happiness and the universal spiritual growth those big things we can think and do first when we start from ourselves that will happen when we wake up the sleeping lion and what is the sleeping lion attitude is this how does it matter let it be like that only isn't it what a lethargic attitude it is permeated percolated in the people that arrogance that मैं क्यों करूं मेरे को क्या फर्क पड़ता है या मैं नहीं करूंगा देखो ऐसी जिद जो रखते हैं ना ऐसे लोगों से जो दुनिया होती है बहुत खराब होती है see yesterday day before from last 6 days every day we are studying Ramacharitamanasa Ayodhya Puri is there any one person in this attitude of क्या फर्क पड़ता है चलने दो मैं कुछ नहीं करूंगा right from Raja Rama up to everyone you are seeing the praja all that varnana indicates that everybody took responsibility of beautifying the whole Ayodhya and then the sleeping lion in there was woken up all were aggressively working नहीं तो इतने बड़े महल अटारी जो डिस्क्राइब कर रहे हैं अपने आप खड़े होते हैं क्या द होल पृथ्वी इज सस्य श्यामला इज रिटन अपने आप होता है क्या द वापी कूप तड़ाग वन उपवन ऑल आर डिवाइन वंडरफुल और राम जी थोड़ी आकर करेंगे हर एक चीज और खुद अपने आप बनते हैं क्या the great plants and trees like a vasanta rutu all through year giving the fruits and flowers it's written will it happen just like that everything what described there indicates that they were not in this tamoguni attitude of kya farak padta hai how does it matter they were all no we have to bring that positive change we are for that we have that abilities given let us use them and when one uses this way their abilities in this for creative purposes the amount of the joy the satisfaction the contentment is inexplicable बिकॉज अंदर का परमात्मा को मौका मिला ना काम करने को और जीवात्मा को भी करते हुए इवॉल्व होने को चांस मिला देयर इज अ ग्रेट जॉय इनसाइड लाइक एवरी डे व्हेन वी कम टू द क्लास there is a secret subtle joy at the end of the class that today we could do something now imagine नहीं कर रहे भी क्लास are in the attitude of क्या फर्क पड़ता है will we have this divine pleasure or divine joy one can justify that also with arrogance नहीं मैं सो गया था मैं ये किया था that मूर्ख we are not talking to we don't address or talk to the murkha who justify all those mistakes and egoistic and misuse their intellect in wrong place to try to defeat the acharyas or our gurus or the rishis. And who will care those useless fellows? Self-destructive, isn't it? Like that. awaken that inner sleeping giant, and let us take up first of all our safety, security, health related, money related, all fatafat dhanadhan. Then come into the spirituality. Every aspect of our spiritual sadhanas required for assured spiritual growth, we have to bring the farak and do it. Jano or karo, know and do, know and do. Don't give chance for the intellect for not knowing by laziness. Don't give the chance for the body senses to be lazy by not working. जानते जाना, करते जाना और सोचना ही नहीं. जानने के लिए सोचो, करने के लिए सोचो. थोड़ा मौका दिया, if you give the mind a chance, then it neither allows the intellect to know nor allows the body senses to work. Then it justifies by saying emotionally क्या फर्क पड़ता है. It is an emotional sentence. A mind overpowering the mind, was intellect and the other faculties, talks this language of how does it matter, whatever is there, let it go on. Think about these two things. Whatever it is there, let it be, let it go on. How does it matter? That attitude, if permeates totally, we just will be in rumbles and shabbles and in all the negative zone without a sign of any aspect of growth. No, the Lord taking avatar. Oh, क्या फर्क पड़ता है करके छोड़ देते हैं क्या? So many rishi munis, as we told, they are not living. क्या फर्क पड़ता है? They are coming again and again with all the human beings, not trusting them, not believing them, not obedient to them. Still they go on work. How wonderful it is! So only this way, when we wake up the giant sleeping lion and work for ourselves, then slowly we can be an instrument for the divine in helping the world also. You know, both outer as well as spiritual. In these thoughts and moods, when we are always there, then only the inner abilities come into manifestation and they can be rightly utilized. That's the fulfillment in life. वो अपने आप ही धीरे धीरे आध्यात्मिक प्रगति में भी ले जाएगा. Isn't it? So these are the two very important thoughts we try to analyze today. By God's grace, really from this moment onwards, जितना भी जीवन हम जी रहे हैं वो फर्क ले आएंगे हम. कोई भी चीज को ऐसे ही नहीं छोड़ना. जितना भी साल हम जिएंगे, अभी 20 साल, 30, 50, जितना भी जियो, रियली जीने का आनंद उठाते हैं जीना. We don't sit idly now. Physically, something we do. Then we don't sit idly intellectually. We're always in the study of Shastras and planning for our sadhana. And our thoda sa ability hai, if not very selfish, think for the world also, think for the neighborhood, think for the society, think for the lane where we are living. Bring the people together, work together for the beautification of it. Take initiative. People of taking initiative are required nowadays. Other people are there to follow. Maybe out of 10, 4 may not follow, 6 will follow. 6 may not follow, 4 will follow. If you take initiative and bring that change together. Today, everybody is waiting that others will do the work or let others lead, we follow. So, the real workers and leaders are required. One can be so. Karo, 5 saal karo, फिर relax हो जाओ. And you and I, for you, those who attend our classes, for you, the direct suggestion is only in the spiritual things you involve. अब डोंट से दैट स्वामी जी आपने कहा मैं कल से क्लास नहीं आ रहा हूँ क्योंकि मेरे मोहल्ले में सफाई धुलाई का काम मैंने हाथ में लिया. That's for the other people. When you are into spiritual life, spiritual only you do it. This is the highest sacred most. And what to do, how to do, it is your intellection. With all this, your age and experience, nothing should be told. If I have to tell you, it is an insult to me what to do. Because it was told 1,000 times and got fed up and exhausted, and I stopped telling from last 4 years. But idea is this: help oneself. Om, 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 Om Sahanavavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Saviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. ओम शांति शांति शांति. ओम नमो ब्रह्मादिभ्यो ब्रह्म विद्या संप्रदाय कर्तृभ्यो वंश ऋषिभ्यो महद्भ्यो नमो गुरुभ्यः. ओम यैरिमे गुरुवे पूर्वं पदवाक्यप्रमाणतः व्याख्याताः सर्ववेदान्ताः तान् नित्यं प्रणतोऽस्म्यहं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः निधये सर्वविद्यानां विजये भवरोगिणां गुरवे सर्वलोकानां दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। ओम सुकृते दिकृते बहुधा भवतो भविता समदर्शनलालसता अतिदीनमिमं परिपालय मां भवशङ्करदेशिकमे शरणं। ब्रह्मानन्दं परमसुखदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वमस्यादिलक्ष्यम् एकं नित्यं विमलम् अचलं सर्वधी साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तन्नमामि परब्रह्मणे श्रुतिमात्रे समस्त ब्रह्मविद्याचार्येभ्यो ऋषिभ्यो मुनिभ्यो गुरुभ्यो देवताभ्यो अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः। श्वेताश्वतर उपनिषदाचार्येभ्यो नमः। संकल्पः तेषां कृपया उपनिषदुक्त ब्रह्मात्मैक्यं बोध सनातनस्य विश्वव्याप्ति विश्वाध्यात्मिक प्रगति सनातन संस्थापकानां निरंतर दिग्विजयार्थम अनेक शास्त्राणाम् अध्ययन साधना प्रयत्न मध्ये कृष्ण यजुर्वेदीय श्वेताश्वतरोपनिषद आद्य शंकर भाष्य समेत अध्ययन साधना प्रयत्न मोक्षार्थम वयं सर्वे करिष्यामहे। ओं नित्यानंदं निराधारं निखिलाधारम् अव्ययं निगमाद्य गतं नित्यं नीलकंठं नमाम्यहम्। ओं सहनावतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहैः। ओं शांति शांति शांति। ओम अथ चतुर्थोऽध्यायः। Friends, let us do the chanting from the 16th mantra up to 16, 17, 18. Only three. ॐ घृतात् परं मण्डमिवाति सूक्ष्मं ज्ञात्वा शिवं सर्वभूतेषु गूढं विश्वस्यैकं परिवेष्टितारं ज्ञात्वा देवं मुच्यते सर्वपाशैः। एष देवो विश्वकर्मा महात्मा सदा जनानां हृदये सन्निविष्टः हृदा मनीषा मनसा विक्लुप्तः य एतद्विदुः अमृताः ते भवन्ते यदा तमस्तन्न दिवानरात्रिः न सन्न चासन् शिव एव केवलः तदक्षरं तत् सवितुर्वरेण्यं प्रज्ञा च तस्मात् प्रसृता पुराणी। ओम शांति शांति शांति। Then we are into this mantra Sankhya, fourth one. Chant all the four of them. य एको अवर्णो बहुधा शक्ति योगात् वर्णाननेकान् निहितार्थो दधाति विचैति चान्ते विश्वमादौ स देवः स नो बुद्ध्या शुभया संयुनक्तो तदेवाग्निस्तदादित्यः तद्वायुस्तदचन्द्रमाः तदेव शुक्रं तद्ब्रह्म तदापस्तत्प्रजापतिः। त्वं स्त्री त्वं पुमानसे त्वं कुमार उत वा कुमारी त्वं जीर्णो दण्डेन वञ्चसि त्वं जातो भवति विश्वतो मुखः। नीलः पतङ्गो हरितो लोहिताक्षः तडिद्गर्भः ऋतवः समुद्राः अनादिमत्त्वं विभुत्वेन वर्तसे यतो जातानि भुवनानि विश्वा. So the first thought is Parabrahma Paramatma alone with his varied Maya Shakti himself, though without changing himself even an iota, little bit, appearing as so many. First thought. Second, he himself again dissolves and takes back everything into him. Third point is very essential that while doing this, he is, the word used here is what? Ki nihitartha. There is no purpose for him at all in doing so. So he alone was there. He alone appeared as so many. He takes everything back to himself. He remains as himself. In doing all of that, nihitartha. There is no definite thing for him to achieve. That's what is called Ishwara Leela. Now, million times we must have uttered this word. सब परमात्मा का लीला है, माया है, शक्ति है. Frustrated face we talk all that. Now the meaning of it should be clear now. Out of his own power, himself appears in the various forms, goes on playing the play, then he takes up everything back into himself, he remains. This is called as Paramatma Leela. Point one, very essential. Point two is what? Therefore, for Paramatma, while all this Leela is going on, happening, every one of them, what is the relation of him with them? That's what was said in the second, third, and fourth mantra. That for him, everything is him only, because everything has come from him, everything is going back into him. So, in between also, everything is him only. Catch this point. Very subtle thought, very important Vedantic thought. Second one. For him, the Ishvara, the Lord, when the play of the world is going on, everything is he only. That is why everything he minds, he takes care of. Like we consider our sharir as ourselves, therefore we take care of our sharir. Isn't it? For Paramatma, everything is he only, no? That is why the Lord is monitoring or managing everything, because वो खुद ही है. Point two. Point one is what? Without any purpose, Lord with his own Shakti, expressing as Srishti, dissolving it into himself and remaining himself. Second point, while the Vyavahara or expression is going on, Leela Kala, for him, everything is himself only. Two. Third. Third is important. In his expression this way, out of his Maya Shakti, out of million things, one thing is you and I. We are given the wisdom, knowledge, ability, faculties, and freedom. Now, with this freedom given, be attentive. With that ability of knowledge given, using it or not using, should we remain as a part of this total world, that too separated, isolated, and identified with our own upadhis and working only for our selfish purpose, that too in the wrong means? This is one option. Or the second option is what? We just wither away all our upadhi tadatmya. We discover our real self in us. Then we also discover that Paramatma who is beyond the entire universe. Point two, step two. Step three, that Paramatma who is beyond universe and that Atma beyond these upadhis, they are one. Third point. Fourth is that one is me. Fifth point finally is what? Therefore, from that standpoint, everything is me only. Like for the Paramatma, everything is himself. For us also, for that person also, everything himself only. Therefore, he expresses with his upadhis only in that universal good. Which one do we want? The first one, always fighting with the total by trying to maintain the separate individuality with the upadhis and limiting ourselves to that and trying to make it only happy by all the wrong means. It's something like in a family of 7, 8 people, one person himself isolated from the total, becoming absolutely selfish, doing everything only for himself, that also in wrong means. How it looks like in that family. It can be anybody. A father-in-law can be like that, useless. Even the daughter-in-law can be like that, or the wife can be like that, or the useless son or a grandson. एक बंदा ऐसा है तो कैसा disturbed होगा family. Now, like Ramaraja, imagine if everyone is gone beyond their own selfishness, identified with the whole family. Therefore, taking every family member as his own self. And then he is minding the interests of them. How that whole family will. Or if one person is like that, how will be his life? How beautiful, how grand will be his life? An example for making us understand what is said so far. So, one option is suffer continuously cocooned in individualized personality with the upadhis and trying to only propitiate those demands of the upadhis, and that too by all adharma papa vritti. The other one is what? By studying the Shastras, understanding from the Gurus, knowing that oneself as self, not the Upadhis, intellectually, then doing all the sadhana required to realize that self, then realizing this one self as the self of all. Therefore, everything is me only. Therefore, everything's happiness and spiritual growth is my happiness and growth, so let me contribute for it. Like we saw just now in the common sense thought, the first one, for the universal glory, good, for the universal spiritual growth, which is dignified, which is greater, which is the higher. That's the meaning of these three shlokas. Paramatma himself created, himself maintains, himself takes everything into him, remains as himself, while the creation is going on, the Leela Kala, everything is himself only. That is the meaning of Tadeva Agnis Tadatitya Tadvayu Tadu Chandramaha Tadeva Shukram Tad Brahma Tadapas Tad Prajapati. It is not we are saying only that everything is that Lord. That Lord is saying that everything is me. Because everything has been created by me. Now among that, whoever one individual gets isolated because of only ignorance, then he always is in fighting with the total. Then he suffers. He troubles the total. Instead of that, like Rama Rajya, everybody is working for the others and everybody is devoted to Rama. Then the whole Rama Rajya is so beautiful. Very good topic we are studying in the evening. Tulsi Ramayana mein, helping us as an example for what we are studying in our other Upanishad etc. classes. Think about yourself, what way you want to evolve. कोई कुछ clarity होना है ना हमको, क्या पाना है, क्या करना है. Upanishads tell us. These are the one possibility which are already opted to remain as jiva, frustrated, suffering, troubling others. The other option is what you can evolve to be that universal being, becoming means for the universal good. Before that, you yourself realize your essential self, then you are liberated first of all. कौन सा ऑप्शन लेना है आप ले लो आपकी मर्जी सो दिस इज द मीनिंग ऑफ तदेव शुक्रम तद ब्रह्म तदापस्तत् प्रजापति देन त्वं स्त्री त्वं पुमानसि त्वं कुमारः उतवा कुमारी त्वं जीर्णो दंडेन वंचसे त्वं जातो भवसि विश्वतो मुखः is an Upanishadic way of indicating that all of them are that Paramatma only. स्त्री कहो पुरुष कहो वो स्त्री पुरुष भी चिल्ड्रन कहो बुढ़े कहो बूढ़े बुजुर्ग लोग और मध्यमावस्था के all of them is he only. That way Vishwato Mukha. Sarvato Mukha, he alone expressing as everything. Now this three Purusha, Bala, Yuva, Vruddha. It's not only in human beings, but in all animal, plant kingdom, everywhere, or the birds kingdom, there is three Purushatva, Osara, Unika expression. Same thing in Prashna Upanishad, said in another way, that one Paramatma only expressing as Rai and Prana, Jada and Chetana. Together of them, the life is going on. Same thing said that way, this way. Another place it is said in Gita, etc., as the Para Prakriti, Apara Prakriti. In the 7th chapter, isn't it? भूमिरापो नलो वायु खमनो बुद्धिरेव च अहंकार इति यम में भिन्ना प्रकृति अष्टदा अपरायम इता तो अन्याम प्रकृतिम विद्धि में पराम जीवभूता महाबाहो एदम धारिते जगतु. Again in the 9th chapter, in the 13th chapter, in the 15th one, 13th में as a kshetra and kshetrajna, in the 15th chapter as the Ksharakshara Purusha and Uttama Purusha. Said in different forms, but the thing is same. The Lord with his Maya Shakti is appearing as all that. So therefore, when from the gold ornaments come, all ornaments are gold only. And they are gold, going back to the gold only. In the same way, the whole universe has come from him, going back into him, therefore he only. That should be into our heart, right? Then in this shloka, Nila Patango, Harito, Loitakshaha, Tadit Garbaha, Rutavaha, Samudraha, Anadimatvam, Vibhutvena Vartase, Yato Jatani, Bhuvanani Vishwa. This mantra, half of it with Bhashya we saw, which was very obvious, nothing to explain. The second half, little bit we touch, go into the next mantra. So, as in continuation of the earlier things, where उससे पहले Agni, Vayu, Aditya, Chandrama, all the Shukra, luminous things, Brahma, the Hiranyagarbha, Prajapati, the Virat Purusha, all of that is that Paramatma only said. Paramatma is this Anantamaya Shakti, Varnananekan in so many forms expressed. Continuing that, Stri, Puman, Ityadi, in each of the species or specimen, that is that Paramatma only, it is said. Now in the next one, not only the human beings that are said, even the lower creatures. You know, Tvameva iti sarvatra sambadhyate. Now I am studying the Bhashya for this mantra number 4. Tvameva sarvatra sambadhyate. Tvameva, O Lord, everything is you only. That word should be added everywhere. In Upanishad it is not added, but you add. उपनिषद में फर्स्ट में सेकंड में शुरू में कहा ना, एक बार कह दिया तो बाकी यू हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड. सो त्वमेव नीलः पतंगः. व्हाट इज द नील पतंगः? भ्रमरः. So all the Brahmara Jati is nothing but expression of Paramatma. So to Patanad Gacchati iti Patangaha. So in that Patanga, not only Brahmara, everything which hops or flies with the wings, all of them are there as Paramatma's expression only, from a small mosquito up to vulture level. Add all of them in that. Second, Harito Loitakshaha. Green in color with the red eyes. Which are they? Shuka Adi. So these Shuka Adi birds and Upar Batayava, Nila Patanga Brahmara, all of them Nikrushta Praninaha. Compared to the human life, they are lower state of beings. All of them also Tvameva iti Artha. With this background knowledge only, in our Sanatan Dharma, we are told to do pranam, namaskar to everybody, everything. We are told to do worship to everything. We are told to offer puja and naivedya to everything. Because sab wahi Bhagwan. So you can see that first Agni, Vayu, Hiranyagarbha, the highest beings. Then it was told Stri, Puman, Ityadi, the human being strata. Then told about the Brahmara, Shukapikadi, so the Pashupakshi. So the Pashupakshi, the Vanaspati, the Manushya Yoni, also the Divya expressions divine, all of them are one Paramatma. This knowledge we have to strongly accept and live life like that. Dare not thereafter the mind will have any negative thoughts, any differentiations, any egos, any raga dvesha. ये राग द्वेषादि दुर्गुण आने का कारण ही ऐसा ज्ञान नहीं होना. Have that knowledge, practice that knowledge. How can there be any negativity? When you say everything is Paramatma, you will not fight with your brother for small little issues. You just say ठीक है भगवान इन दैट रूपा, जो है ठीक है, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं. You understand? Like that. Now, next one is what? Ki tadit garbaha meghaha. So the clouds also are Paramatma. Rutavaha, all the seasons also are Paramatma. The Samudraha, that also is Paramatma. When Tadit Garbha, Megha said, Megha, Varsha, then in the glaciers, the rivers, what do you call them? All the plant kingdom, un sabko Megha Varsha mein you have to add and accept. That all of them are Bhagwan only because of the rains only these things come. Next one, Rutavaha, when it is said, the Rutu, usse upar jao, to the Ayana, the Vatsara, the Dashabda, Shatabda, up to the Yuga, Mahayuga. नीचे की तरफ आओ, lesser than the Rutu is the Masa, then the Paksha, then Vasara, Vara, then comes the Dina, then in that the hours, then the minutes, seconds. So all the time is he only. By the word Rutu, the time you have to understand. By the word Tadit Garbha, right from the water created all plants, everything we have to accept. So too the next one is what? Samudraha. While the Samudra, what means? All the water sources smaller than the smallest. Say bigger than big the samudra tak, so only that God. These slokas have to be again and again consciously studied, and you have to lift that meaning, put it in ourselves, keep practicing. Don't be negligent or careless, reckless, saying that मैं समझ गया हूँ. नहीं, उसका अभ्यास करके that thought should permeate so much in us that there is something other than the God. That thought should totally go away. Even little should not be there. Then says Yasmad Tvameva Sarvasya Atma Bhutaha. Because you are the self of every one of them. Tasmat, therefore, Anadihi Tvameva. You are the one beginningless. You are always there. From you only all these things are coming and going back into you. Then Tasmad Anadihi Tvameva. Then Tvameva Adi Anta Shunya. See that? You are the beginning of everything, but you yourself have no beginning and end. Be clear about these thoughts. They should not be brushed aside carelessly. The ones who do it, they are not sincere in Vedanta or spirituality. Vedanta में spirituality में sincere लोग, these thoughts they give importance and catch. There is one being, the Lord, the eternal, whatever the name you call him as Brahman or Atman. He is causeless, he is beginningless, he is endless, and he is the cause of the beginning end of everything else. ये है बात. यस्मात् त्वमेव सर्वस्य आत्मभूतः तस्माद् अनादिः त्वमेव त्वमेव आद्यन्त शून्यः. You don't have any beginning and end, and everything begins and ends in you. Then vibhutvena, vyapakatvena, you are the one sarva vyapaka. Whether it is in desha, sarva desha, it is you vyapta. Whether it is in kala, sarva kala, it is you vyapta. Vastu, in all vastus, it is you vyapta. Rather, if it is put in other way around, it is by your own maya shakti in you, you only are projecting Deshakala and Vastu, which we call as the world, and the play is going on. Then he says, Vibhutvena, Vyapakatvena, then Yatha Jatani, Bhuvanani, Vishwani. From you only, that's what the just now the thought said. The Bhuvanani, Vishwani, the entire Brahmandas, the whole universe has, from you only emerged. You are all pervading. You are cause and beginning less. You are endless. You are eternal. From your Shakti only, everything is coming. This is we addressing about that Paramatma in a praising mood. And the same thing is in the experience for the Paramatma. Paramatma knows he is Vibhu. Paramatma knows he is Vyapaka. Paramatma knows entire Bhuvanani, Vishwani are coming from him, staying in him, going back into him. And within that time, the Desha, Kala, all Vastus are me only, that Paramatma Tattva knows. And in that, the Hiranyagarbha, Prajapati Adi, then the Manushya, Stripuman Adi, then this Kitaha, Patangaha, Brahmaraha, everything is he only. So therefore, what is the Vedantic thought? How many forms and names are there is not an issue, not a problem at all. But all of them, are they recognized as my own self from the absolute self standpoint, which I have realized on the seat of meditation? ध्यान में मैं अपने आत्मा स्वरूप को जानने के पश्चात सब कुछ उसी आत्मा के रूप से देखने से प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व, हाईएस्ट इज अचीव्ड. Question is not in how many forms the world is there. All are that Brahman only. If we realize it, there is no problem. If everything is me, then the Anatma Bhava, when it goes away, Sarvatmya Bhava, when it takes position, all problems are sorted out. Now, these are the very subtle knowledges. To allow them to enter into us, the slumberous intellect has to be opened, the patience has to be invoked for contemplation, the lazy and justifying intellect has to be kept aside. The distractions of the mind also have to be curbed, curtailed. When all these measures are taken, then this knowledge can be gained, owned, used, which is the redeeming knowledge. Knowledge which gives redemption, the moksha. Tomorrow we'll see Idanim Teja up Anna Lakshanam Prakritim Chandogya Upanishad Prasiddham Ajarupa Kalpanaya Darshit. So the Prakriti of three gunas, which is named as Aja, which is there in Chandogya, let us elaborate. This Upanishad talks in one sloka. So in this one sloka, the Baddha Mukta they are spoken about. In the next sloka, Jeeva Ishwara will be spoken. Two slokas. एक में तो जीव ईश्वर का बताएंगे, दूसरा how this jiva can get liberated. No samane vrikshe purusho nimagnaha nishaya shochati muhyamanaha justameda pasyatyanyamesham asya mahimanavitu ida shokaha. What we have seen in Mundaka, they are repeated here. So may our Shraddha grow day by day, may our concentration ability grow day by day, may our love for our Shastra and Shastra Jnana grow, may we carefully, committedly involve only in spiritual doings and evolutions. May the entire other thing, which is nothing but Mohamaya, slowly go away from us. This is what is Sankalpa for me, prayers for me, allowed for you also if you are saying yes. Continue tomorrow. Om, 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 Om. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Paravarshibhyo Parabrahmane Shruti Matre Namaha Tatsat Brahmarapanastu. That was wonderful, friends, today. Bhagavan's grace we have studied. Now come for Gita also, 15-20 minutes.